Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining the third in our series of coffee break webinars presented by NetSphere Strategies and CoreMedia. My name is Abby Miller, and I'm the Digital Marketing Manager at NetSphere. My co-presenters for today's webinar are Martin Radicke from CoreMedia and my colleague Jeff Pulsam. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Martin.
Hi, Abby.
Hey, Abby.
And hello to all of you in attendance today. We're happy to be here to give you the third installment of our three-part series. If you missed out on the first two webinars, you can find them on YouTube by searching Coffee Break Webinar with NetSphere Strategies and CoreMedia. As you'll see, we also placed a shortened URL of both of the videos for those on your screen today. For today's webinar, we're going to show attendees how they can leverage microsites to create immersive experiences for shoppers who search your site. The goal, as with our other webinars, is to explain to marketers that with the right tools, it's not necessary to be technically inclined to manage site search and create memorable, effective experiences. Before we kick things off, I want to remind attendees that we'll have a Q&A at the end of the webinar. To submit questions, use the webinar control panel, which should be on screen now. Again, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us today, and let's get started.
Thank you, Abby. So as you mentioned, our first two webinars outline tasks that business users can execute on their own to manage the way that website visitors leverage search. And we explained how to make it easier for shoppers to find what they're looking for on your site. We also showed attendees how to develop a search results list that is really more compelling than what shoppers have come to expect. So to continue driving conversions, today we're going to be focusing on story-driven microsites, which are yet another way to delight website visitors on your site. So the idea behind story-driven microsites is delivering a blend of content and commerce. And so doing that in real time gives shoppers much more than just products. With microsites, marketers are able to leverage blog posts, videos, and other product-related content really all in one place. And like our previous webinars, we're going to be explaining how all of that ties back to Solar, which is the search tool that comes bundled with WebSphere Commerce. So to allow shoppers to engage more deeply with your website's content, and ultimately your products, microsites can be an incredibly effective strategy. Before we get to creating a microsite, however, I want to bring up the fact that WebSphere Commerce is able to create SEO-friendly URLs, which help drive traffic to your site. And business users, will need to work with their IT team to set up this feature, but it's really just a one-time task. Now, keep in mind that WebSphere Commerce version 7 with Feature Pack 3 is a prerequisite. Now, LiveContext tight integration with Commerce means that microsites created within the LiveContext environment can fully utilize the URL conversions defined within Management Center. And the beauty of SEO-friendly URLs is that content is highly discoverable, which really offers more opportunities to make great first impressions for your shoppers. And with features that we'll highlight today, business users can be confident that they'll be able to wow first-time shoppers and have them coming back for more. So shoppers and marketers alike find a bounty of value from microsites. For shoppers, they're given what can be referred to as immersive content or product-aligned storytelling. Now, with this approach, shoppers are able to discover, for example, new ways to use a product through videos. They also, as another example, can learn about green attributes that a product holds via an informative blog. Truly, the possibilities of product-aligned storytelling are vast. Now, for marketers, integrating rich media into product search results pages gives the ability to further leverage content like the videos and the blogs that would have been relegated to expected places like on social media or on a separate blog site. So the investments that retailers are making, just to create these videos and blogs is growing year over year, making the most of that investment is really, imperative to Mondelez International, said it will be devoting 10% of its total marketing spend on digital video. And additionally, a report from Content Marketing Institute released last year said that organizations are allocating, on average, 25% of their marketing budget on content creation. So, you know, microsites are another avenue to highlight these efforts in content creation. And so to see how microsites can easily be created by business users, I'm going to hand over the controls to Martin, who will be giving us a demo of LiveContext in action. So over to you, Martin.
Thank you, Jeff. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the third episode of our webinar. And today's presentation, I would like to show you how easy and intuitive it is to create with using CoreMedia LiveContext to create a microsite which is actually engaging, drives more traffic to your site, and ultimately also increases the conversion because it drives traffic to the actual products in the end. In order to do that, I will use again the CoreMedia Studio. This is this interface that you see here. Folks that have seen the previous two episodes should be familiar with it already, but nevertheless, I will just quickly explain the main features here as we use it for this episode today. So, in order to create a microsite within the next few minutes, all I need to do is actually use one of the buttons here on the left side, and that is the Create Content button, since I want to start something new. And I choose Create Content, and I select an article. This is the content type that we use as a vehicle here to create our microsite. And I want to create a microsite about finding your perfect style. And then just type in the title for the page and hit the Enter key. And the CoreMedia Studio gives me a new form, basically, where I can now fill in all details for my new microsite. And most important thing, you notice that this red surrounded area, that is the main copy. This is where the main text goes for this microsite. Right now it's empty since I just started from scratch. So the CoreMedia Studio is giving me guidance here and urges me to fill in something meaningful. And instead of just writing now down the entire text for the microsite, I'm switching to Microsoft Word, where I have some, for the sake of this coffee break seminar, I have something prepared, which I just want to reuse here. So I have some text which I cut and paste back into Studio. As you can see, the import for Microsoft Word works flawlessly. All the formatting is kept. You also notice that now the copy, the written material, is actually rendered in a two column style here in my little microsite. So far, so good. But right now, as it is, it's not very engaging, and I want to change that by attaching interesting and really immersive assets to this microsites. So I want to start with a few images first, and for that I'm using another button here on the left side, which is a Pictures button. It's really a shortcut that to help me to reach out into CoreMedia's integrated digital asset management library, and I can now search this library for actual material assets. So I know there was a photo shooting going on, pretty recent, for my fashion brand, and I want to now leverage some of those assets that have been created there. So I search for shooting. I get a couple of nice shots here, and I'm just dragging in the photos that I want to use as part of my microsite. And as you can see, as I drag in more photos, you can see how the actual microsite materializes with the assets combined with the original copy that I got from Microsoft Word. Now I pulled in here, I utilize this picture slot, which can take any amount of pictures, and since if I have more than one image here, as you can see, I got this automatically presented this here as a slider. What I also notice is that one of these pictures is not displayed, is not really making full use of the real estate that we give it here. As you can see, I would like to change that, and this is very easy. I just do a right-click within the context of an image, right on top of the image, and I open the image as a separate tab. That brings me to the image manipulation editor that is part of CoreMedia Studio, which allows me now for many of the formats to set certain criteria. For example, the crop, to precisely define what part is with which crop is displayed. And I'm going to change that to show a little bit more of that lady and her dress that she's wearing. And I just close that picture and apply my changes. Now back to my microsite, I can see that my changes that I did to the picture itself did immediately take effect. As you can see here, I'm now pretty happy with the appearance of that top hero image on my microsite. Just to move on, of course, I have full control over the written material itself using rich text controls. And I just want to show that on a little example. So, for example, I can also embed images right within the text. So again, using the image shortcut, and this time, let's say I want to search for summer and see what my digital asset management library has in terms of summer assets. And this one kind of jumps into my eye, and I want to use this. And again, I just drag it in the right position within my microsite. And of course, I can use the controls here to zoom out a little bit to get better overview of my page as it is growing. And I'm now pretty happy with the image assets together with the copy. What I now want to do is to blend this microsite, which is purely marketing driven so far. I want to blend it with the commerce elements, with certain products. So I want people to land on this page, and then they get relevant information here and to combine with beautiful assets. And then I want to present related products in order to drive traffic to those product pages so that people actually are more likely to check out those products because they're coming from this landing page from the same, which shares the same topic as the products maybe. So how do I do that? Very easy, same way I did with the image assets. I click on the desired position, and just one word quickly about the rich text controls. I can just now create a link to a product, for example. Let's say I want to promote a white summer dress. I just type here on the left side. As you can see, due to the real-time preview, the instant preview, I can immediately see how it would look like on my microsite. And of course, I have all the controls to really manipulate the text as you would expect it from a rich text editor. What I can also do, I can now set a link, and I want to set a link to a certain product. And that is another very important part of CoreMedia LiveContext and its tight integration with the NetSphere Commerce product catalog, because I can now just click here, as I did before with the pictures, and now click on products instead. And I get to a view where I can now actually search in real time through the NetSphere Commerce product catalog. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to search here for a summer dress, and I get a couple of hits here, pretty much a yellow and a white dress. And I'm deciding to take the white summer dress. I put that into the, again, just using drag and drop, put that into the link target. As you can see now, I got a link to my product. That's just one way to do it, but I could make it even more impressive by embedding the entire product description and also the price and the title right into my microsite. And I do that by just changing the link, how the link is displayed. So if I switch to embedded, I can see now that instead of just a text link, I get a fully featured product teaser with a title, with the product image, and of course the pricing. Again, this is all only possible due to the integration, the tight integration between the two systems, and the real-time integration of the NetSphere Commerce product catalog into CoreMedia LiveContext. So far, so good. I also can add more, if I wanted to. I can add more products to this microsite, and I just want to do it one more time. So again, I hit products, and again I search for a dress. Let's see what kind of dress I have. And I see here in the first position, I see a floral dress, which sounds pretty nice. And as I pull that into the related content slot, And as soon as I do that, you can witness that now a sidebar is automatically created for me, so I don't have to change anything on my microsite. I just place or just really compose my content items here, and the system is figuring out how to present it optimally. I also want to fill up all this empty sidebar here with some items in order to save some time here for the sake of this short webinar. I'm reusing existing content, existing marketing content that I've created earlier, and just access it from my bookmarks and just drag it also in the related content slot. As you can see, the preview refreshes itself instantaneously, and I got now a whole range of different content, marketing content items here, including a promotion for a certain category. Of course, a video, we've heard it before in the introduction, how important video is to drive more conversion, and also other microsites, right? So I can reuse existing content from existing microsites to compose this microsite. So for that, I'm pretty happy with my microsite. Now I want to actually promote it and put it active so people can actually navigate to it. And for that, I'm going back to my category page where I initially started. And yeah, just now I'm a little bit using the zoom controls to show the entire screen. So what is this is just a standard category page. You know, as you would expect it from the standard Aurora store. You got all the controls you need. You got a filter. You got an endless stack of products here. There's already some LiveContext marketing content embedded into this page, and I want now to add on that to that, and I want to add here in this place my my newly created microsite, and that's very easy. So I just access this hero banner here, just hit the quick edit, and I get a list of items. Currently, there's only this yellow teaser. Now to add my microsite, that's as easy as dragging it from that open tab into this list and to the first position, for example. I can so now see after a refresh of the page, now that I have this hero banner presentation of the microsite. What I want to do now, finally, is to test it out. So as you can see, I'm here on this category page, and I got an active link. I can click on it, and once I click on it, I'm directed to the microsite that we just composed earlier, a few minutes ago. And as you can see here, I can now test it out. So, for example, the embedded product promotion that I have here in the middle of my microsite, I can just test that out with one click, which will bring users directly to the product detail page for that very product. Going back, I can also test out other elements. There's another product here. Then we have a promotion for a category for some special sales. For women exclusive, there's a special promotion going on right now. As if I click there, I get to the women exclusive category page or departmental page. I got the video. I mentioned it earlier how important it is nowadays, and I got here a link to another microsite, another marketing-driven microsite where a story is told about how to look good in your 30s. Very similar to the one that I just created, just for a different topic, again with related products. And now the last thing I really want to do is to make sure that it looks good not only on my desktop here as I design and compose this microsite, but also on different devices. And for that, I'm going to use the responsive preview slider that's built into CoreMedia Studio. And I just can go from desktop all the way down to smaller devices with limited screen sizes. And as you can see immediately, due to the responsive design, the page is optimized, or it's optimizing itself to fit in the best possible way, even on a smaller screen. Also got a page break indicator here to indicate when people have to scroll and what's visible without scrolling. And as you can see, it can go all the way down to tablet, from desktop to tablet, all the way down to mobile, and again, all the way back to desktop. So it's a very powerful tool to make sure that the microsite looks good on all devices out there. So just to wrap up, you've been witnessing how we created a microsite pretty much from scratch, and how easy it was, and it took actually less than drinking and having coffee to compose that microsite with rich assets taken from the CoreMedia from the digital asset management library, as well as blending the story, the marketing-driven site, with the catalog world, with the products from NetSphere Commerce. And with that, back to Jeff.
Thank you, Martin. So just to quickly recap what we've covered today, we saw that content like blogs and videos can really be maximized when they're embedded into the microsites, giving shoppers more information about your products. We also saw that these microsites can be easily created by the business users, and they offer a visually appealing way to really blend the content and the product teasers all in one place. And then finally, the tight integration we saw between IBM and CoreMedia offers a user-friendly way for business users to take control of how search functions on their websites, and how customers can really better interact with the brand. So clearly, there's a lot that a business user can do to enhance their customer shopping experiences. And although this is the last of our three-part series, there are still many methods that business users can take advantage of, and so therefore I would be more than happy to continue the conversation offline and at any time for that matter. So please do reach out to me or the CoreMedia team and leverage us, and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Jeff and Martin. Yeah, so as Jeff said, that wraps up today's webinar and our overall series on enhancing the search experience. If any of our attendees have a question, we're happy to field them now. In fact, it looks like we did receive one question, which reads as follows: how does the publishing tool work with mobile sites? Yeah, that's a great question. And I think that, Martin, you might have touched on that just a bit, but could you elaborate on that one a bit?
Sure, no problem. As I've already mentioned, I touched on it a little bit during the live demo. Basically, publication to mobile is achieved to the use of responsive and adaptive web design. That's actually utilized by NetSphere Commerce in the most recent versions, as well as, of course, by CoreMedia LiveContext. And due to that, you're able to just create a single set of content and microsites, and publish that not only to desktop but also to all different devices out there, including tablets, mobile devices, but also native apps that might use that leverage that as well. And this is again due to the web design. What's important, what helps you achieving that goal is the responsive preview that is built into the CoreMedia Studio, which is really the key to while you're actually creating and composing the content, you can do, and you have seen that today, you can do the real-time preview in order to give you the overall picture, not only for desktop but also for different device screens and smaller screens that might be out there.
Well, thanks for elaborating, Martin. And actually, if the individual who submitted that question would like some more information, we are going to put our contact information up here on this last slide. So like Jeff said, feel free to reach out to any of us. We'd be happy to continue the conversation offline. But really, we just want to thank everyone who joined us today. We hope you learned a lot, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. So thanks again.